Good afternoon, everybody. Big Mike back here with you once again. Welcome back to Big Mike Talks, where today I'm going to be talking about the rest of the week that was in pro wrestling. So that's going to be TNA Impact Wrestling and MLW Battle Riot, which we'll get to in a bit. Was definitely an interesting week of shows. Man, I can't wait to give my opinion on them. So first, we're going to take a look at TNA Impact Wrestling. I believe this is the last one they're doing in New Mexico. So, definitely a change of venue is thumbs up from me. So we get some highlights from last week's show to open the show. Very good. Then we see Ariana Grace, who is the, significant other of Channing Stacks Lorenzen from NXT, as she's scouting in our opening contest Trey Miguel, and I guess making his TNA return. I think he did some stuff with Impact during the pandemic. Maybe after, too. I'm not really sure. Adam Brooks, who is a UK... I'm not going to say legend because this is my first time seeing him. This match was very, very interesting. It was definitely a little speed and finesse match versus more of a hard-hitting, strong style of wrestling. Anytime Trey Miguel tried to quicken the pace, Brooks slowed him down. But he also kind of kept up with him, which is always cool to see. But Miguel picks up the win with the lightning spiral. And I'm going to say this to TNA right now. Sign Mr. Brooks. I think he could be a heck of an asset to you. And bring some new blood into the promotion. So post-match, as Trey Miguel is celebrating, Stacks comes in and just beats the heck out of Trey. And then you see Ariana on the outside, just kind of holding her face, not looking at it. But then she climbs the steps and gets in Stacks' face, asking, what are you doing this for? What is this all about? So apparently, we didn't see the official cash-in, but at No Surrender, we're going to see Trey Miguel versus Stacks, and this is Trey Miguel's cashing in of his Feast or Fired case, which I think is kind of lame. There should have been like a segment for that. Like he goes to Santino or someone and says, yeah, I want Stacks at No Surrender. Let's do it. Just something little like that would have, I don't know, been a little bit more hype than just match graphic. So then we get a little backstage interview from the Angel Warriors. So that's the former Xia Li. I forget her name, I'm sorry. And Xia Brookside, along with Indy Hartwell. With Hartwell wishing... actually, it was Xia Li saying, Ash, we are always here. Welcome back. You're going to regret coming back. That's why we are going to win tonight. We're not just coming for you. We're coming for your team. So, yeah, pretty obvious target for Xia Brookside. And then it does look like we're going to get Indy Hartwell and Xia Brookside as teammates, which could be cool for going after the Knockouts tag titles. So next up, this was a very interesting match to say, as we have the Righteous, Vincent and Dutch. Sorry, I can't help but snap my fingers to that beat. Taking on TW3 and Tommy Two Scoops. I have never heard of these two in my life. I guess they're two local guys that TNA reached out to get a shot. Yeah, this was a squash match. This was Vincent and Dutch pretty much having their way with this team, with the Righteous hitting Orange Sunshine for the win, which, interesting name for a finisher, especially from these guys. So Vincent grabs the microphone, says, "We clearly don't want a war with the Hardys. War is messy. We want to stand beside you. We took different paths in our history, but think about it. Dig what I'm saying?" I love Vincent's, like, the way he holds himself, and he's into this righteous gimmick. I can't help but love it. So then we go backstage to a Hardy Boys promo. That's Matt and Jeff. And he says, Matt pretty much takes the lead on this one, which, honestly, I always thought Jeff was the better talker, but oh well. He says, they keep talking about fighting with us. Righteous, we already beat you. We are moving past you. Then Jeff chimes in and says, well, think about it. Maybe he wants to form a group with us. Butter us up. Then Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers, and I forget who else in Cedric Alexander walk up. And Bree says, don't worry about the right, I believe it was Eddie saying, don't worry about the righteous when the system is right here. Then we see Jeff just kind of fly off screen after a brief stare down. Bear Bronson walks up, and all four of them just beat down on the Hardys. And yeah, that was definitely fun. An interesting setup, although apparently for No Surrender we're getting the Hardys and the Righteous, not against the system, but against Order 4, which I guess the system is going to attack them post-match or something. I don't know. That's a weird setup. Anyway, then we get Cass, Frankie Kazarian. He's somewhere in the back. He sees the former Sonya Deville, which is Ray something. Sorry, I'm blanking on her name. They shake hands. Then Kaz goes out on the ramp for a promo, saying, it's been a while since I've been here in the Impact Zone. I don't like Santana holding my world title. Santana is the toughest fighter I've ever had the pleasure of meeting in the ring. But Santana doesn't represent this company like class like I did. I wrestled, and at the premiere episode, I wrestled a world title match, put on the greatest main event in the wrestling history, and lost. Days later, I put on a fight of my life and fought a worn-armed man. But I had to talk with our new GM, and she understands the injustices being held in this company and understands the star that I am. Santana, there's no man that I couldn't beat up that's sitting out here tonight. As for beating up someone here, I don't need the hassle. But before he can leave, out comes Elijah, He points his guitar like a gun, which I guess is his thing now, as he's ready for his mixed tag match with Jada Stone, in which this is my first time seeing her wrestle, taking on Mustafa Ali and Tasha Steele of Order 4. And I'm going to say this, Stone, despite, me seeing her for the first time here, she's got a lot of skill. She is incredibly effective in the ring. Really good high flyer, too. But after a ton of interferences, especially by Agent Zero and everyone else in Order 4, your winner after a rough distraction. Ali does his cutter move, rolls Tasha Steele onto Jada Stone to pick up the win for Order 4. At that point, Elijah gets in the ring and checks on Stone post-match. So, definitely interesting matchup with a unconvoluted story, if that makes sense. But, this is definitely going to be interesting to see where this goes. So next we see Santino Marella. He's talking to someone on the phone in the back. Then Grace comes in. She's all in tears, saying, me and Stacks had a fight, talking about relationship stuff. Then she asks Santino for a world title, knockouts title match, because it's not about who you are, it's about me wanting to prove myself. And Santino at first is reluctant, but then she says, you could always make it up for me missing my Sweet 16. Santino then says, I'll see what I can do, and they embrace. So, this is going to go interesting. And then we take a little commercial break. Then we have Dara Ray, that's the former Sonya Deville, announcing certain matches for No Surrender. So there's already a tag match that's announced. It's Eddie Edwards and Leon Slater, of all people, taking on Kaz and... No, other way around. My mistake. It's Kaz and Eddie Edwards taking on Leon Slater and Mike Santana. Then we get the Hardys and the Righteous taking on Order 4 announced. And that's where the cash-in should have been announced for Trey Miguel for the international title match. But then Santino Marella walks in, says, I got one more match to announce. It's going to be my daughter getting a knockouts title match. And then, of course, we get a little back and forth between Santino and Ray. But then we see something interesting in the background. We see Steve Maclin, who, if you remember, got the fired slip, the pink slip from Feast or Fired. And Ray says, why is he here? He should have been gone last week because he got fired. And Santino retorts, he's just saying his proper goodbyes to his wrestling family. So then cameraman pretty much sprints over to Steve Maclin, who is talking with I want to say it's like Eric Young and someone else. And then he sees the camera, says right into the camera, this will be the final time you'll see me on TNA. TNA was my home. I became world champion, 2-time international champion. And I tell you, I love this place because of the locker room, who sticks it together through thick and thin and overcome everything. I'm so happy I'm leaving this the way I am. You can give everything to something, but it's going to do what it's going to do. So, Steve Maclin goes to leave. Then Mike Santana comes in. And he says to Steve Maclin, "You welcomed me back with open arms. You got my best interest at heart. And what you've done, thank you for being so selfless." And then they embrace. Mike Santana goes to walk off. It looks like Maclin's walking out the door. Then he closes the door, attacks Mike Santana, in which that prompts security to break, not only break him up, but force Maclin out the door. So, more and more, I'm thinking this is going to be an angle where we see Steve Maclin either dress up in a mask or something else is going to happen with these two. And we got this. The in-ring debut of Tessa Blanchard as she takes on Rachel Leigh, who made her NWA debut on Tuesday. So cool to see her here. Yeah, this was pretty much the Tessa Blanchard show. And yeah, it was fine. Like, despite my pretty clear bias against Tessa, she is still an excellent competitor. And who she's aligned with is kind of interesting, too. Because you have the former Alicia Fox in here, which I honestly forget her name. And then she has, like, Mia something or other, who looks like a giant. So, yeah, this was pretty much a squash match with the Buzzsaw to pick up the win. She didn't talk or anything, which is very interesting, because she is very good on the mic as well. But I guess TNA/AMC didn't want her on screen for an extended period of time. Then we get the TNA injury report, which is a segment of the show I really enjoy. Then we get this weird little segment. So we got Ryan Nemeth and Mariah Shade. I will pronounce her name right one day, I promise. Like, competing in athletic events, in which Sade is just dominating. It's like throwing a football in a stadium, darts, game of horse. So this is definitely a little back and forth. After the game of horse, Ryan's trying to say, no, best to do out of 3. You can only win this on a trick shot. So Sade tosses him the basketball, hits a super kick on him, and then there's obvious edit of the ball going in the hoop. So it does look like we're getting these two in a match sometime soon. So that could be fun. Then we see JDC, who had his in-ring debut on Impact this past week. He's out by the equipment trucks, texting whoever, kind of talking to himself. Then Eli kind of gets in his face, says, "This fun for you?" Then JDC says, "Look, you're trying to sell me on this Clans thing. Not interested in it." So then Eli puts his arm right into the neck of JDC, pushes him against the equipment truck, and says, "You're not interested in the truth? You have pull here. The truth for you could be more powerful than anything. But I'm going to give you the opportunity of a lifetime of time I'm giving you the gift of time. Next week in the ring, you're going to give me your answer. So it looks like EY is recruiting for this cleanse. I'm not sure if this is going to turn into a group or not. I think it really should. But, it should definitely be fun. Speaking of fun, this match was, I had some fun with it. As you had the Angel Warriors, so that's Xia Brookside and the former Xia Li, teaming up with Indy Hartwell, taking on the Elegance brand. So that's M by Elegance, Heather by Elegance, and the in-ring return from injury of Ash by Elegance. And yeah, this was definitely a entertaining bout. Is it going to get 5 stars in the Tokyo Dome? Probably not. But I had my fun with it. Especially with Ash constantly teasing, getting in the ring. Eventually she does. But then, one point on the outside, you have Xia Brookside out there. She has Mr. Elegance kind of by the shoulder. Then the concierge walks up. He's got something in his hand. He chucks it, trying to hit Xia. Xia moves. It hits Mr. Elegance. It's pretty much a glitter bomb. So Brookside gets back in the ring. Indy Hartwell with a roll-up to pick up the win for her team. And then the post-match attack by the Elegance brand onto their opponent. So, that's definitely that was definitely a bit of a fun match. Little bit of a nothing for the main event match, but the main event segment's going to be interesting. I'll get to it. Then we see what I thought was a tribute video to Fandango, but turns out it was an ad for his kind of documentary thing, where they're probably going to look at his history in TNA, which is fine. And then we get a Mike Santana promo. He's kind of half-assing his entrance, which you kind of see him high-fiving people, but he's got this stern look on his face. Gets in the ring, says, I came out here last week, sat in a chair, and I proved I can carry my weight. And now I got a target on my head. Son of a bitch. Okay. After what happened in the back with Macklin, this turned a once friend into an enemy. And Macklin, next time you want this, stab me in the front. So at that point, the entirety of the system come out. They attack Santana. The Hardy Boys attempt to make the save, but their numbers are too many, which leads to the return of Moose. And I'll say it, maybe a bit too early for Moose to come back, but it's good to see him. And he fights off the system, including taking Brian Myers and powerbombing him over the top rope into his teammates. So, I'm going to say this. I think I would have held off of a Moose return for right now. Maybe save that for a No Surrender or a later date. But, definitely good to see Moose back in action. And he's obviously starting his feud with his former boys. So, that was TNA Impact. A very... I don't want to say it was bad, but it wasn't... as good as I think it could have been. The wrestling itself was fine. Promos definitely getting better. But it needed something else. I'm not sure what, though. Overall, just middle of the road show. Which, not to say bad, but it was okay. And then we finish out the week with MLW's Battle Riot. I'll go over the rules of the actual Battle Riot, because that is a match stipulation. And also, I am not going through everything that happened in the show, because we'd be here for hours, because the Battle Riot is 40 men. 40. So, I'm going to just compile some highlights, and away we go, as we start off with an MLW middleweight title match between Kushida and Templario. And yeah, this match absolutely ruled. They got some really good chemistry. Really good back and forth. But after a Back to the Future, which is a great name for this man's finisher, your winner and new middleweight champion, Kushida. But as he's celebrating, out comes Akira Kwan, the potentially sole surviving member of Contra Unit. He gets in the ring, seemingly stares down Kushida, but then Kwan and Kushida both attack Templario on the mat, and Kwan unfurls a Contra Unit shirt, and Kushida puts it on. So Kushida joining Contra. So this is more than likely strategy for Battle Riot, which again I will go over. I'm going to say this. If you have a couple minutes out of your day, go watch this match. This was a great old wrestling match with a very interesting angle afterward. Then we get our Don Gato segment, which I absolutely enjoy. Showing him just like doing Tai Chi or whatever. Then we see in the back, we got MLW World Champion Mads Kruger passing Shotzi Blackheart in the hall. They both kind of look at each other, give each other a little nod. Then we get a video recap of Kruger seemingly cutting ties with Contra, saying how the goal was always the World Championship, and from now on he's on his own. So, yeah, we'll see how that turns out in the Battle Riot. We then get a similar highlight we saw at the last event for the return of MLW Fusion. I know they did a Fusion taping right before this, so I'm not 100% sure when it's coming back. I hope it's a little sooner rather than later, because I've definitely missed Fusion. So then, no date or time or station was given, so I guess we'll find that out in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully. Then we get the rules of the Battle Riot, which go as follows. We start off with two superstars. They say every like 30 seconds, a new one comes in. And you can eliminate each other via over-the-top rope, much like the Royal Rumble. But then you also can eliminate someone by pin or by submission. So, let the riot begin. As we got numero uno, Killer Kross. So that's a heck of a number one. Number two, his biggest rival, Matt Riddle. And, that was definitely a little unexpected. Number 3, we got Big Trouble Ben Bishop, which that was definitely a surprise. I like this guy. He's got so much personality, and he's a pretty darn good wrestler on top of it. He almost immediately gets eliminated by Cross after he suffers the hanging cross jacket. Next man in, Doc Gallows, the OG. Man number 5 is someone I don't think I've ever heard of, Cha-Cha Charlie, who definitely showed his stuff in this match. Eventually, Riddle and Cross eliminate Gallows. Man number 6 in is Joe Coffey from Gallus. I'm going to say interesting to see him in here, and he looks ready to fight. Man in number 8 is the defending world champion. Oh, that's right. MLW world title is on the line for this match. Kruger comes in and just starts beating the heck out of people, including eliminating Cha-Cha Charlie. Entrant number 9 is Matthew Justice. He brings all the weapons into the ring and uses them. Man number 10, Paul Walter Hauser, the actor. And honestly, it's good to see him back in. Definitely got his stuff in. Man in number 11 is Joshua Bishop. This man I haven't seen in MLW in a while, so it's good to see him back. And he dominated everybody. That was awesome. Next man in, we got Paul London. And yes, that's that Paul London. He's still going, and he still looks great. Eventually, Matthew Justice gets eliminated after a big military press by Joshua Bishop. Man in number 13 is Anthony Green. So he's been doing stuff in like Noah and Japan. So good to see him getting an opportunity like this. So at one point during this situation, we had Joe Coffey somehow obtain a pineapple, which I didn't even know that was a legal weapon, and he rolls it into the crotchal area of Josh Bishop, which that was honestly hilarious. Entrant number 14 is Don Gato himself. So this is technically his first match. Before he gets to the ring, he comes in via kind of lowrider-ish. And he has a shot board, which I didn't know was a thing. Takes a shot with his entrance ladies. I don't know what to call them. He brings the board into the ring and uses it as a weapon immediately. Entrant number 15 is Stallion Rogers. I am not really super familiar with this guy, but he definitely showed out in this match. As he has an interaction with Matt Riddle, who apparently trained him, which that's pretty cool. Did I miss somebody? Oh, I did miss somebody. Number 7, Diego Hill. High flyer. Very cool. I can't believe I missed somebody. In number 16 is Austin Aries, who pretty much immediately dumps Don Gato and Stallion Rogers eliminate each other off of a Don Gato clothesline. So, fun little interaction. Man in number 17, a bit of a surprise, is Alan Angels, aka number 5 from the Dark Order. And he definitely did some good athletic stuff. Hits pretty much immediately hits a roll up on Paul Walter Hauser, gets eliminated. At that point, Anthony Green eliminates Paul Walter Hauser. And then Hauser gets on the apron, eliminates Paul London. And they pretty much fight to the back. Man number 18. Man who just made his TNA debut. Working a little double duty. It's Adam Brooks. And he goes in there and just starts laying people out. That point, Diego Hill gets eliminated. And then Paul Walter Hauser hits a big old elbow drop on Paul London through a table that was set up earlier. Number 19. And this was a very, very interesting looking dude. Cody Fluffman. Now, apparently he's not a wrestler, but he works for the Savannah Bananas. If you know that group. Yeah, that was very interesting. He reminded me of, oh God, who was the big dude from WWE who rubbed himself in baby oil and rolled over people? He kind of fit that vibe. Anyway, contestant number 20 is newly christened Contra member Kushida. He goes right for the hoverboard lock on Kruger, but he pretty much powers out of it. At that point, Joe Coffey gets eliminated. Little sad about that because I kind of wanted the Gallus members in there together. Entrant number 21 is Trevor Lee. Definitely good to see him. He did spend some time in MLW. I think he had one match for the middleweight title. Nothing really significant, I'll say. So he comes in and just starts running everybody. Entrant number 22 is Kiro Kwan. That point, Fluffman gets eliminated. I didn't even see how. And Kwan and Kushida team up on Kruger. Try to eliminate him a couple of times, but that gets stopped almost immediately. Entrant number 23 is Wolfgang of Gallus. Gets in, pretty much starts running things. Number 24, it was supposed to be Davey Boy Smith Jr. making his grand return, but we are shown backstage he was taken out by Contra Unit, and he was replaced by Baba Thunder. If you don't know this guy, he was Dabba-Kato in WWE. He started out as a Raw Underground competitor. And then he was Apollo Cruz's second in command when he did that, not Saudi Prince, Nigerian Prince gimmick. So he comes out with a body bag, has a big old face-off with Kruger, and they just start beating the heck out of each other. Entrant number 25 was meant to be Satoshi Kojima, but again, he gets beat up by Contra, replaced by a returning Contra member, Simon Gotch. And all four of them just start beating on Kruger. But at that point, Kruger overpowers them, eliminates Gotch, Kwan, and Kushida. But at that point, it's too late, as a mystery man comes out and eliminates Kruger. Then this mystery man, who's one of the biggest dudes I've ever seen, go up the top rope, hit a splash on Kruger through the table, and eliminates himself. The rest of Contra then hold Kruger while this masked man pulls out a spike, hits a spike right to the throat to Kruger. They then Contra then puts him in a body bag and carries him out surrounded by the Sentai Death Squad. So, I don't know if this is MLW writing Kruger off TV because he's going somewhere else, or if this is the start of something between Contra and eventually Kruger. Either way, it should be fun. Next up, guy number 27, we got Jesus Rodriguez, the former ring announcer for Alberto Del Rio, and he was a little awkward, I'm not gonna lie. Like, he wasn't bad, per se, but I feel like he was trying to do a little bit too much. Guy out number 28 is the Machine Gun, Carl Anderson. Little sad he and Gallows didn't get to interact, although we got something for that, don't you worry. Pretty much comes in, eliminates Joshua Bishop almost immediately, and just starts doing his thing. Number 29 is Sidney Akeem. If you don't know who this is, this was Reg, aka Reggie, the sommelier for, who was it? For Enzo and Cass's manager, if you remember her. I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Carmella! That's who it is. So he comes in and he just starts flying around. It was great to see. Man number 30. 10 more to go. It's Alex Hammerstone, who immediately eliminates Wolfgang. Attempts a choke bomb on Aries, who hits a triangle. Hammer breaks out, goes for a big old eye rake. Entrant number 31 is Ricky Martinez. I definitely forgot about. Actually, apparently this guy is relatively new to MLW. Came in, definitely did some good lucha stuff, which is always good. Number 32, bit of a return for Ariel Dominguez. Bit of a little dude. He hits a big old DDT on Aries. Runs right into Matt Riddle. Hits a GT Bro and eliminates him. Entrant number 33. And this was a throwback as it's Festus. Now, if you don't know who this is, this was Gallows' original gimmick in the WWE, as he was a mentally challenged person who was in a tag team with Guy Jesse, and then whenever the bell would ring, that would like send him into the rage. So he gets in the ring. You see a little bit of drool coming from his mouth. And Carl Anderson has got this look on his face like, what are you doing, man? This isn't you. The entire time, the crowd is chanting, ring the bell, which I am surprised anyone remembered this gimmick. Bravo to you, wrestling fans. Entrant number 34 is Donovan Dijak, one half of the tag team champions, and just runs the show, eliminates Carl Anderson. Entrant number 35 is his tag team partner, Bishop Dwyer, the former Baron Corbin. So they have a little face-off with Festus. They start beating him up. Anderson sees this. He's over by the timekeeper's table, takes a little hammer, ding, 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 and that sets Festus off. And he just goes after everybody. He then eliminates Ricky Martinez, but then the Dwyer and Dijak eliminate Festus finally eliminate Festus. Anderson re-rings the bell that calms Festus down. And Anderson takes Festus by the hand and leads him away. So I don't know if Gallows is going to do this on the regular. I kind of hope he doesn't, because that's a very interesting moment in time. The time Festus came back and got jeered. Entrant number 36, we got LJ Cleary. He comes in, hits a big old drop kick into a destroyer, which that was interesting. Entrant number 37 is Madman Fulton. Haven't seen this guy in a while. Looks great. At first, everyone tries to stop him because he's the giant, and he just runs over everybody. Number 38, a guy I have never seen before in my life. It's Onyx the One, which, heck of a name for a wrestler. He gets in there with the big boys, powers them around. Number 39, former member of the Boomaye Fight Club, it's Mr. Thomas. And I say former because Alex Kane is no longer in MLW. And he just goes off on his own. And number 40, the last member of Gallus, it's Mark Coffey. He immediately eliminates... Dijak and Dwyer just go on an elimination spree. Eliminating Brooks, eliminating Trevor Lee, Jesus Rodriguez, LJ Cleary, then Akeem and Onyx were eliminated back to back. Mr. Thomas tries to fight back, but he's eliminated. And that leaves us with a little four corners situation. Actually, before that, we had Mark Coffey get eliminated, Madman Fulton get eliminated. Then it's just down to Aries, Hammerstone, Dijak, Dwyer, Riddle, and Cross. And so they all kind of divide up with Aries and Hammer in an uneasy alliance. But as soon as Aries tries to do something, tries to hit Hammer with a brainbuster, that got blocked. So he just dumped Aries out of the ring. Dijak attempts to feast your eyes. That gets blocked. Do a big old boot. Riddle with an eye rake. Dwyer and Dijak attempt a double choke slam. That gets blocked. And then Dijak eliminates his tag partner. Dang it. And then Cross cuts behind Dwyer, eliminates him. And then Hammer and Riddle are fighting on the ropes. Cross eliminates both of them to pick up the win and win the MLW World title. That brings out Scarlett to celebrate with him. And then he picks up a microphone, says, "Well, you got me now. I didn't do this to myself. For myself, we fucking did this. Your voices, when you got turned down, you got louder. And with my mom, who beat cancer, in the arena tonight, seeing me wrestle for the first time, I thank you all." He then finds his mom in the crowd, hands her the world title so it can sit on her shoulder for a minute. Cross takes it back, says, "Thank you. Until next time, tick TikTok. Very fun way to end the weekend. Or Thursday, yeah. This all went down on Thursday. So, yeah, Battle Riot, ton of fun. If you got, like, I want to say it's a little under an hour, so strap in, because it's honestly a ton of fun. And it sets up a lot, especially for the new Fusion show that's coming out, which I still don't know the details on that. We'll see what happens. So, that'll do it for this week in wrestling. Thank you for coming around. Please like the video if you haven't. Comment your favorite, part of a wrestling show from this past week. And honestly, it could be from anything. From TNA, MLW, AEW, the local independent thread show you went to this week. Let me know, because I really do want to know. And until next time, happy wrestling, everybody. Peace.